Hello, my nerdlings. If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. Today, we are going to do our anticipated releases for 2025 part dose. So I have decided that I'm going to break up the months this year into thirds. So part one, I covered up until the end of April. This one, I'm going to cover May, June, July, and August. And then part three, which will come out later in the year, will cover the Burr months. So September, October, November, December. I have, I don't know how many, pulled up, tabs pulled up on my laptop right here in front of me of all of the books that I am looking forward to being released. This is as of the day I'm filming this, information on Goodreads. Granted, release dates can change. That happens. But this is as of the day I'm filming, which is the beginning of April. When things are supposed to be releasing. Okay? I will put covers here. So, first one, coming out on May 13th, we have Dream On, Ramona Riley by Ashley Herring Blake. This says, a small town waitress and a Hollywood star worlds collide in a new romance by Ashley Herring Blake, bestselling author of Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. Once upon a time, Ramona Riley was a student at a prestigious art school, with dreams of landing in Hollywood as a costume designer to the stars. But after her father's car accident, she had to quit and return to her small New Hampshire town, Clover Lake, to help take care of her younger sister. 12 years later, Ramona is still working the town's cafe, all but given up on her dream. But when a big-budget romantic comedy comes to Clover Lake to film, she wonders if this could be her chance. There's only one problem. Dylan Monroe, her first kiss, and Hollywood's favorite wild child, is the star. Ooh. Dylan Monroe has always lived an unconventional life, having famous rock icons for parents, but she always wanted to prove that she's not some chaotic, talentless Nepo baby, that she has actual skills, that she was just a normal person. To do that, Dylan takes on a project at a charming lake town. She works at the town's cafe, shadowing a local waitress there, and asks to take Dylan around to do normal people things. But Dylan soon realizes it's not just some small town waitress she's getting to know. Ramona Riley is someone she's met before, someone who remembers her even more vividly. Before long, reality hits them. Both women decide if the spark between them can fan the flames of their individual dreams or if it will extinguish their light. So this is a sapphic, lesbian, contemporary romance. I have not read an Ashley Herring Blake at all. I own one. I own Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. Haven't read it though. But this one sounds good. I am all for the small town meeting, the very hallmarky like tropes of a small town girl, a big Hollywood starlet. So I'm excited for it. And then after that, we have coming out on May 27th, A Fate Forged in Fire by Hazel McBride. Some buzzwords for it. We have fantasy, romantasy, dragons, and enemies to lovers. So, to become the first queen in centuries, a powerfully blessed blacksmith must use her wits and fire magic to overthrow the corrupt powers ruling her kingdom, while also fighting her growing desire for one of her dragon riding adversaries in this first book of a sizzling Celtic inspired fantasy romance duology. Ooh, that sounds really good. And I love this cover too. I don't know what about this cover, but I love this cover. There's more of a description, but I cannot pronounce half of the names in here, so I'm not even going to try. Just if this sounds amazing to you, check it out, because it does to me. Then, coming out on May 27th, we have Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent. So this is Rena's step into hockey romance. So this is a dark hockey romance, and this is following Kane Davenport. So we're introduced to Kane in different books of Rena's, but in this one specifically, we are introduced to Kane, and we don't know the female protagonist's name. It's not in the description anywhere, but this is what Goodreads says. In a den of vipers, revenge is the deadliest venom. They shattered my world. Now I'll bring theirs down. The problem? I have virtually no way to trace the puppet master. My only lead? The Vipers. An elite college hockey team that rules the ice and the shadows beyond it. To infiltrate their secret society, I set my sights on their weakest link, Kane Davenport, the charismatic captain and the lone green flag in a nest of serpents. But too late, I realize I've enticed the most venomous snake. Kane's friendly facade hides a predator more dangerous than I imagined. He quickly unveils the monster lurking beneath the surface, a monster who lured me in only to trap me in a lethal game with no escape. So excited. And can we talk about this cover? Oh my god, this cover. So I love snakes. I don't know if you guys know this. I have a corn snake. I would absolutely love to own. Oh my gosh, I love reptiles. I want to own more snakes. I want a lavender hognose really, really bad. But so, like, we have a dark romance. We have hockey. And this cover, this cover. I love it. Anyways, that's book, 3 I've talked about so far? Right? Yeah, book 3. So book 4 is, okay, I had to change out my mic because it died. So for book number 4, right? Something like that. We have A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim, which Elizabeth Lim, I own all of her bibliography, and I've only ever read one of them, but whatever. This is coming out June 3rd, 2025. Our buzzwords for this are young adult fantasy. It says romance and dragons and mythology. So I'm sold. Our description says a breathtaking romantic fantasy inspired by Beauty and the Beast about a girl who paints the future and a cursed dragon lord, bound by love and deception in a plot to bring down the gods. Holy shit. I don't even want to read the rest of that. That just sounds amazing. There's of course more, but that's all I'm reading. I'm not going further in that because I don't want to spoil the story. Because I don't know if you guys know this, synopsises like to have way too much information in them and then just ruin it. The next book we have is coming out June 10th, 2025. Our buzzwords are fantasy, romance, LGBTQ, young adult, sci-fi. So it's called Coffee Shop in an Alternate Universe by C.B. Lee. This says, a geeky overachiever determined to save the world through science and a troublemaking chosen one lashing out against her destiny meet and fall in love in a magical coffee shop as their two different universes begin to collide. That sounds adorable. So, when Brenda's internet goes out right before an important scholarship deadline, she stumbles right into Kat's family's coffee shop. Brenda is swept away by a cool, confident Kat who actually cares about Brenda's 19-step plan to save the world through science. Meanwhile, Kat can't stop thinking about Brenda, who's smart, passionate, and doesn't seem to care that Kat is the prophesized chosen one. The only problem, Kat and Brenda are from different universes. Like a need to go find a portal to go on a second date different universes. As their universes collide and things spiral out of control, can a girl who's determined to save the world find love with a girl determined to outrun her destiny? So excited. And I'm here for all of the sapphic romance. And then coming up on June 17th, we have Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer. This is book 4 in the Vancouver Storm series. So this is a hockey romance. And it says, the only way to receive her inheritance is marrying the NHL's grumpiest enforcer, a brutally handsome jerk, and the last man she'd ever fall for. In public, Georgia Green and Alexei Volkov act as besotted newlyweds, but in private, they're at each other's throats. He's competitive, arrogant, and surly. The guy's never cracked a smile in his life. He's jealous of her colleague, glares at her high heels, and insists he's not attracted to her. He's only marrying her for citizenship. Fighting with Alexei is more fun than Georgia expected. Though beneath his grouchy exterior, Alexei is surprisingly caring, protective, and generous. He cuddles with her bunnies and worries about her safety. He sends her flowers with secret meanings and spends way too much money on her. He makes her sleep in his bed and calls her his wife. For a guy who said he'd never love her, Alexei's doing a great impression of it. And now George is wondering if this marriage is fake after all. And then coming up on July 1st, 2025, we have from the lovely people at Critical Role, Tusk Love by Thea Guanzon. It says, a merchant's daughter yearns for adventure, gets more than she's bargained for when she falls for a broodingly handsome stranger in this saucy romantasy. So it's a cozy romantasy. Oh, I think this is about Jester. Is it? As the daughter of an ambitious merchant, Guinevere's path has been predetermined, marry into a noble house of the Dwendalian Empire, raised to her family station, and live quietly as a lordling's obedient wife. But Guinevere longs for a life unbounded by expectations, for freedom, and for passionate adventure. Those distant dreams become a sudden reality when her caravan is beset by bandits, leaving her guards slain and Guinevere stranded alone in the dangerous Amber Road. On the dangerous Amber Road, her only chance of survival is to travel along Oscar, the aloof half-orc who saved her during the attack. Unlike her, Oscar's path is not set in stone. With his mother dead and his apprenticeship abandoned, all that's left is a long, lonely walk and to a land he's never seen to find family he's never met. The last thing he needs is a spoiled waif like Guinevere slowing him down, even if the spark between them sizzles with promise. Despite his cold exterior, Oscar is brave and thoughtful, and unlike anyone Guinevere has ever met, and while Guinevere may be sheltered, she brings out the softness in him that he never dared to feel before. As the flames of their passion grow, they realize that soon they'll need to choose between their expected destinations and their blossoming romance. Excited for this. So excited for this. I don't know who's going to read the audiobook. I need to know. Because if it is two of the Critical Role people, I'm going to have to buy the audiobook like the day it comes out. Because I love them. Hold on. Okay, so I deep dove. And according to Reddit, granted it's not the most reliable, but if we want to believe Reddit, which we do, it's going to be read by Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey, which, oh my God. Yes! I love them. I love them. They are like two of my favorite people in all of Critical Role. So, yes. Anyways, after that, we have coming out on July 15th, The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. It says, new standalone novel nestled on a faraway island brimming with singing flowers, honey cakes, and honeyed love. Turlu Perna broke the law because she was lonely. She cast a spell and created a magically sentient spider plant. As punishment, she was turned into a wooden statue and tucked away into an alcove on the North Reading Room in the Great Library of Elysium. This should have been the end of her story, yet one day she awakes in the cold of winter on a nearly deserted island full of hundreds of magical greenhouses. She's starving and freezing, and the only other human on the island is a grumpy gardener. To her surprise, he offers her a place to sleep, clean clothes, and freshly baked honey cakes until she's ready to sail home. But she can't return home and doesn't want to. The greenhouses are a dream come true, each more wondrous than the next. When she learns that the magic that sustains them is failing, causing the death of everything within them, she knows she must help, even if that means breaking the law again. This time, though, she isn't alone. Assisted by the gardener and a sentient rose, she must unravel the secrets of a long-dead sorcerer if she wants to save the island and have a fresh chance at happiness and love. Funny, kind, and forgiving, The Enchanted Greenhouse is a story about giving second chances to others and to yourself. This is a cozy fantasy romance. Then, July 29th, we have The Last Tiger by Julia Ryu and Brad Ryu. So I found this book on TikTok. The two authors posted a TikTok and it come up on my FYP or For You page, however you want to freaking say it. And it sounded so good. This is inspired by true stories from the author's grandparents' lives during one of the darkest periods in Korean history. The Last Tiger is a debut young adult fantasy novel about the power of love to give voice to a broken people. In a colonized land where tigers are being hunted to extinction and ancient magic stirs, two star-crossed teens from opposite worlds, Yi Seong, a servant yearning for freedom, and Choi Eun-ji, a noble girl defying tradition, join forces to reshape their respective fates. But their relationship evolves from begrudging accomplices to bitter adversaries as they soon find themselves on opposite sides of a battle over the last tiger, a symbol of their people's lost freedom and key to liberation of their country. As the ties between them are complicated by their conflicting loyalties, tensions rise, especially when a charming princeling of the empire begins to rival for Eun-ji's affection. In this friends to enemies to lovers story of forbidden romance, antagonists turned allies, oppression and liberation, neither Seong nor Eun-ji can abandon their mission or each other, and as they embark on separate quests to find the elusive creature, each must find the power within themselves to make their own destiny. Sounds so good. And this cover, oh my god, this cover is gorgeous. Then coming out July 22nd, 2025 is Sparrow Falls #5, Chasing Shelter. There's nothing on Goodreads except Chasing Shelter by Catherine Cowles, book 5, and the Sparrow Falls series. More details coming soon. That's it. Then on August 5th, from Olivia Dade, we have Zom Rom-Com, which buzzwords are romance, fantasy, zombies, paranormal romance, vampires. Teaming up with your neighbor during a zombie outbreak is a no-brainer. But if it turns out he's a vampire, the stakes couldn't be higher in this infectious new paranormal romance from Olivia Dade. I'm not reading any further. I don't care to know the rest of this. But the thing with Olivia Dade is all of her female protagonists are plus size. So I like her. She writes great too. Then on August 19th, we have The Dragon Wakes with Thunder by KX Song. This is the second book in the Night Ends with Fire. I think it's just a duology. Right? Yeah, it's just a duology. Where this talks about, it's a Mulan retelling. A young woman who wields the unimaginable power of a dragon spirit must decide who to support and who to love in this enthralling fantasy that reimagines the legend of Mulan. And Mulan is my favorite princess. So. And then lastly, on August 19th, we have book 3 of the Lakefront Billionaires called Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. So this says, Lorenzo, 5 months, 2 people in love, one fake relationship with an expiration date. Sounds simple enough. The problem is Lily Munoz and I have a history. So when she volunteers to date me so I can improve my public image, I should say no. Our past complicates everything, but since my future depends on her, I agree to her plan. Faking it for the public is expected, but falling in love in private, that's not part of our agreement. Lily, in using a dating app sounded like a great idea up until I discovered Lorenzo Vittori was my match. My sister's boyfriend hates him. My mom is wary of him. And me, I spent last year avoiding him. But when my business is threatened, I'm forced into teaming up with Lorenzo to save it, and all I need to do is help him win the mayoral election, and he promises to protect my shop. It doesn't take long for me to learn that I'm not cut out for fake relationships, but Lorenzo, he isn't capable of a real one. So those are our anticipated releases for the next 4 months. Hit the like video if you did. Comment down below what some of your anticipated releases are for the next 4 months, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Until next time, you are loved and you are valid.